It's Christmas Eve, and I have kind of chatty video to do today. So I hope you enjoy. But this is part of my daily uploads up until Christmas, where I open a Pokemon pack in every video. So before we get into today's video, I will be opening my daily Pokemon pack. So let's get into the ASMR. The video will be timestamped. If you don't want to watch the Pokemon, feel free to skip ahead, but you should watch the Pokemon. So let's get into the video. I hope you all enjoy. Okay guys, we are down to the final 3 packs. We're on to day 23. And we have our final Japanese pack with the Glory of Team Rocket again. So our final Japanese pack. I'm really hoping we get something in this one. Please. There we go. Okay. So last time I didn't do a card trick, but I think this time I am going to do the same as the first one and move one to the front, because last time we got a holo and it was the 4th card, not the 5th card. So let's see what we have. Oh, we've got wheezing or coughing or wheezing. I can never actually tell them apart. This one is the evolution. I'm gonna say this is wheezing. That would be my guess. The pre-evolution was coughing. I can't remember though, because they just look so similar to me. So we've got another stinky looking Pokemon. It's kind of funny that is like a bit of a theme in this pack, because it's Team Rocket and they have all the like kind of evil looking Pokemon. We've got some suspicious gas around him. And we've got the little trainer in the corner. Okay, next card. Please be cute. Oh, it's Nidoran. Nido something. We actually got Nido Queen in our first pack of this. I think the first evolution is Nidoran, but I don't know what the second evolution is. Nido. I don't know. I'll put all the correct names above them, just because I can't actually read Japanese, unfortunately. But again, we've got that kind of creepy, evil look about the cards. These feel so nice. These feel really, really nice. I love these cards. They're so sick. Very, very basic background, but the lighting is very cool in this. Very, very bright on the Pokemon's face, and then the background is just very, very dark. Harsh shadows. And we've got Giovanni in the corner. Who do we have next? Oh, we've got Combuskin. He's so cool. I love this Pokemon. I love this card. I love this fire swirling around and this kind of movement, the kick. It's really, really fun. Oh, I just love that. I love how it ties in with the fire, it being like a fire card as well. All the colours just work so well together. But at the same time, it's not like overpowering. Sometimes I complain about how it's too close. Like some of the grass Pokemon is too green. But there's a variation here in the background. It's quite light and washed out, so you get a bit of a balance. I don't know. This just works really well. I like it. Oh, okay, this is my favourite card that we've built so far. gosh, he's so cute. He's so funny. He's such like a serious but very baby Pokemon. I do love him. He's one of the cute ones that I always appreciate. But this has a kind of definitely a vibe about it. This dark, gloomy background. I'm watching Stranger Things, so this kind of reminds me of season 2 when there's like that big tunnel, kind of upside down situation with that big tunnel. This is reminding me of that, but that's maybe just me relating everything in my mind to Stranger Things at the minute. He looks like he is on a mission though, and I would trust him with my life. He's so funny. I like the lighting. The lighting on these cards has been really, really nice. This one in particular is a lot more soft than this one. Is very harsh, but this is very soft, beaming down onto him. Oh, I'm happy with our last 2 cards. They've been really nice artworks. And for our final card, what do we have? Oh, okay. I don't know this guy's name. Unfortunately, we have not built anything better than a holo in our Japanese packs, but nonetheless, these holos have been really, really shiny and cool. So I can't complain. This looks like some sort of shield dog. We're gonna call him Shield Dog. I feel like I should know his name. I recognize him, but it's not coming to me. Damn. Okay, so that was our final Japanese pack. These 2 cards in particular I love. I think the artwork is stunning. And I like this one as well. The gloomy vibes are good, but this one just looks stinky and this one's like fine. There's really not much going on. So that is our last Japanese pack, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and let's get into today's video. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do my favorite movies, TV shows, anime, books, like my favorite media that I've consumed throughout the year. I have previously made videos about my favorite shows or anime that I would recommend, etc. So I've been meaning to make something else like this. So I'm just gonna ramble basically about shows that I've watched and my top ones of the year that I would recommend. If you've not watched, you should watch. So that's today's video. So the first one I've got on my list is a TV show, a Netflix show that I have loved this year, and there's kind of other ones, but I'm not 100% sure if they came out this year or not. But this is Physical Asia. And if you have Netflix, you've probably saw this, or Physical 100. Physical 100 is basically the first show that came out of this type, and it is a competition between 100 really, really fit people. I think it's in Korea. I think that's where it all started, in South Korea. So there's 100 contestants at the start, and it slowly dwindles down with each challenge, and it's so fun. It's very, very physical. It's in the name. It's physically demanding tasks, but there's different types. Maybe it's like a stamina one or a strength one, or how long you can endure hanging on monkey bars, how fast you can run. There's completely different challenges, and I wish I could be in amongst the people that are creating the set for this. It looks so cool, and I get so invested in the stakes. I am so involved. So I've watched both seasons of Physical 100. Love them. So when I saw they were making Physical Asia, I was so excited, and it came out a few months ago, I think now, and I've slowly been watching it, and it is so good. So the difference between Physical Asia and Physical 100 is Physical Asia is several Asian countries. I think Mongolia, Japan, South Korea, get more invested in this because you are following the people as a group throughout the entire show, whereas you could get like really invested in one person in Physical 100 and then one episode goes by and they're gone. But this, like the groups, you get really, really invested, and because there is a South Korea team, of course, there are some people from Physical 100. I love to see it. I love to see that. So I am rooting for South Korea. I've not finished this. I'd like to highlight. I've been watching this with my boyfriend, and I think we're like halfway through. So no spoilers if you have watched it. Don't spoil it for me. Don't spoil it for anyone. I don't know who wins, but I have loved this, and I just think the challenges are so fun, and I would love to try it. I know I would never be able to do what they do, and it just makes me so like almost inspired to get like super fit and to be more active, because seeing all these fit people do all these amazing things that I'm like, how are you doing that? Is so cool. So I just think it's great. It's great cinema. If you've not watched it, you're missing out. So sticking with the topic of TV shows, I'm gonna say my other two TV shows my favourite ones of the year are House MD and The Handmaid's Tale. These are two very different vibes, but I've been kind of casually watching House MD, and I actually went as House for Halloween, and there was like a surprising amount of people that actually recognised who I was without me telling them, which is kind of funny. But I really enjoyed this. I think the like deadpan comedy I find so funny, and I find House is hilarious. He's just so entertaining to watch, and it's kind of one of those shows that you don't really need to be like clocked in to just enjoy it. So I've been definitely watching this more casually, but it's just so entertaining, and I love a medical drama as well. And these kind of like, I think it's like early 2000s, at least it gives that vibe, kind of older TV shows. Like, it's not super overdone. There's not like big stage lights, or people look real and natural, whereas I think a lot of like medical shows now I watch and they just feel too new. Does that make sense to anyone? Like, I love the first seasons of Grey's Anatomy because they have that kind of older school feel and vibe to them. They're not even that old, but still they kind of have that more authentic vibe to them, and that's what I really enjoy about House. So mainly, of course, the humour of House is what I enjoy. I think House is such a funny character, even though he is morally very questionable at times. So yeah, I've always enjoyed a medical drama, so House is really good, and I just love the humour in it. And the like group of his doctors are so funny as well. They've got such a good dynamic. It's similar to Grey's as well, that like every episode you'll get kind of new patients, which I enjoy. I enjoy that. It keeps the ball rolling. Also, Wilson is top tier. He always has his one-liners in each episode, and I love that. My next show is The Handmaid's Tale. I've spoke briefly about this on the channel before. I absolutely adore this show. The first two seasons, I think I'm on the last season now. Either the last season or I'm just about to finish the season before that. But I absolutely love this. I think the director's done a really good job with this. Personally, I've not read the book. I would like to read the book, but I think this is one of the shows that I've watched recently that for the first time I've actually wanted to like put down my phone and give it all my attention. I feel like a lot of shows that I try to pick up or I hear is popular and I watch it, I'm just like, I hate being like spoon-fed plots. Whereas with The Handmaid's Tale, there's a lot of like first 2 seasons were definitely my favourite, and it does kind of dip after that, but nonetheless it's still been a very entertaining watch. And as I said, I think I still have maybe 1 season to go. There are some very complicated characters, complex characters in this show as well. The first one that comes to mind is Serena. Of course, if you have watched the show, you'll know she is. I go back and forth, like, she genuinely spins my moral compass so much. Like, one side of me really, really hates everything that she's done, but another side of me feels so sorry for her and so heartbroken for what she goes through. So yeah, I can appreciate her character is truly, truly complex, and I think she's very interesting to watch. But she does make my head spin. Like, she definitely makes my head spin. I loved the tension and the suspense that was built up in the first 2 seasons. The first season is like, I was on the edge of my seat, and episode 1 of season 2, there is a scene with a Kate Bush song. I love Kate Bush, so as soon as I heard the song, I was like, oh, I'm buckling up, like, I'm scared. And it did not disappoint. That song was perfectly used. Yeah, that's another thing, the soundtrack is amazing. It's amazing, and it is kind of, I mean, it's supposed to be dystopian, but it doesn't actually feel dystopian for many reasons. So, if you've not watched it, I would get involved, because this is the best show, I would say, for me, that I've watched this year, and honestly in a long time as well. It is really, really good. So next I'm going to move on to some anime that I've watched this year and loved. First one on the list is Apothecary Diaries. I loved this show. Oh my gosh. This was amazing. This had mystery, this had a little bit of romance, this had comedy, and this had gripping plots and really, really interesting characters as well. I love Mao Mao. I think she is such a good main character, and all of the kind of side characters I think are amazing and really boost the story. I think she has such a fun personality to watch as well. She's just hilarious. This is, I think, the longest anime on my list, and usually I think that season 2s are like longer. The longer a show goes on, I get a bit scared that it's kind of going to start to drop off, but genuinely 10 out of 10, I think this show is amazing. It's such a fun watch, and I just love the journey that Mao goes on, and I cried my eyes out in the last few episodes. It's like, it is actually really suspenseful at points as well. I was not expecting to be so on edge, and then like laughing, and then in the next scene it's kind of crazy, but I just love the kind of like detective mystery type of vibe that goes on with this, and I love the connection that Mao kind of makes with people as she goes on the way. Top tier wholesome anime. I have 2 more anime on my list, one of which is Solo Leveling, which I gobbled up. I loved this show. I don't think it's as good as Apothecary Diaries in my feeling, my soul of souls, my heart of hearts. I don't think it's as good, but I understand the hype because it's fast paced, it's got action, it's got a really overpowered badass MMC. Like, what more could you ask for? It's just a good watch, and there's something just about that kind of vibe, you know, like with an action anime. I just love when your main character is seriously overpowered and is on doing all these sick quests and battles with all these different monsters. I mean, genuinely, what more do you want? The next anime on my list is one that I've spoke about on my channel before, communicate, and she meets a guy who learns sign to speak to her, and they build this connection, and he is just like the sweetest, one of the sweetest MMCs that I've watched in a romance anime in the longest time. The dynamic that he has with the main girl is just so cute. This like warmed my heart. It's one of those ones, and I loved this so much that not only did I start learning sign language, but I watched this twice in 1 week. Like, I watched it and then I had to watch it again. It was that good. So yeah, he's just so sweet, and they're adorable together, and it just gave me like the warm and fuzzy vibes. And there's some very good side characters and side stories in this as well. Just very wholesome little watch. I loved it, and I miss it. I want to watch it again. Now I am going to move on to, well, I have one game. My favourite game of the year is God of War. I can't actually believe it took me this long to play God of War, because now that I'm playing it, I've not finished it yet, still not, but I can't believe it took me this long to pick up God of War when it is so similar in vibes to The Last of Us. Like, what have I been doing with my life? This game is insane, and I've not had this love for a game in so long, like a new game. It's like the same kind of love that I have about The Last of Us and Tomb Raider. All of my favourite games, it's up there with my favourite games of all time. And I just love the dynamic, the father-son dynamic. I love it, and I think the journey that they go on is so amazing. And I could talk about it all day, but I don't want to like spoil it too much in case you've not played it and you want to play it. But it definitely gives me kind of like Skyrim vibes with the open world. I think my favourite part, I love the action, and I love the dwarf brothers as well. They're so funny. I will admit that I've found this quite hard at some points. I wanted to say I've never played a game like this. I mean, it's very unique, and it's I want to say the way you control things is very unique to me. I've never played something that's so varied, and you really get to like change up your combat style completely, like however you want. You can just adapt your gameplay to whatever you want to do. And it almost at like the start I was like, there's too many options, like I feel like I'm doing it wrong, but the more you play, the more you get used to having so many options. It's just way more fun. But I obviously love the character dynamic. I love seeing Kratos kind of become softer and more less harsh as the game goes on, especially during one of the main plot points. I was like, I really felt his pain, and his bond growing with his son is just so cute. It's so cute, and I mean, I love a good action adventure game, so this is right up my street, and I found it really fun. You get like a bestiary where each kind of mob monster you come across, they have different weaknesses or different fighting styles that you should adapt for each enemy, which I think is so sick, and I love this idea. I love the like learning as you go type of thing. It feels very new and very engaging as you go along the game. I love the weapons, I love the battle style, I love this game, I love it. It is amazing, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, so yeah, I am super excited to get on to the second one in the series. So now I have a few books on my list, My favourite book that I've read this year has to be Kingdom of Ashes. It has to be. There's just no comparing any other book that I've read to that. It changed me. It physically changed me, and I genuinely don't think there is a day that goes by why is it this big? Does it need to be this serious? I say yes, and I argue that I wanted it longer. I didn't want it to end. So I personally loved it and would not change anything about that book. I think I genuinely was broken upon finishing this series. This book hit me so heavy. I was like crying for like nights in a row reading this. It was tearing my soul out, and then I genuinely had to recover, like I was grieving a loss afterwards. I don't think I read a book for like maybe 5 days, which is quite long for me. I read every single day, so I took this hard, and I finished it this year, among other books. Like the last 3 books I think I finished this year at the start of the year, and for the past like 3 months I have been considering doing a reread of the entire series. That's how much I miss this series. That's how much I adore these books and this world and these characters, that not even a year after finishing them I want to reread them. Like already. I think not even like 5 months. It must have been like 4 or 5 months after finishing that I've been like non-stop, I need to reread this series, like, and I still feel that way. But I have a very long TBR that I've been working through, so I've not, but I definitely am going to reread them next year. So finally it's in 2026, it's acceptable now. The next book is a duet, actually. This is another one with a really beautiful found family, amazing characters, and really, really heartbreaking stories and character developments. This is The Loser's Duet. I have never read a book like this before. They're dark themes, and it's quite moody, but quite like happy and bright in other parts. There are it's basically a story between a girl who was like the prom queen kind of girl who bullied these like 4 guys, the kind of outcast group in her school, and they end up having this very complicated relationship, and then they don't speak for ages. They all go off to like college, uni, whatever, and then later on they all kind of like become intertwined again. Very complicated little like background there, but it is so good, and I think about this found family so much whenever I'm reading. This is like the found family I'm comparing it to, because I just love it. There's something about their own little world. They all just get each other, and that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. This is also very dramatic. There's a lot of like kind of, I want to say like more actiony type of things that go on, that are just really intense and fun. I mean, not fun, but like keeps you engaged. That's what I'm gonna say. Engaging, not fun. So yeah, this was like a super quick read. I tore through these, and I regret that now because I'm never gonna be able to reread them. Like for the first time, I'm not gonna be able to read them for the first time. I can reread them, and I will. That's definitely a duet that I'm excited to reread, because I know it's just gonna hit the same. It's gonna hit so good again. The next book, this is kind of like paired. I recently, as in like the past month maybe, have dived into Draco Hermione fanfics. I used to love a good fanfic growing up, but of course I haven't really touched them in a while. With the release of Alchemized, that is a book that has been published now, that's been inspired by manacled Draco Hermione fanfic. I have had that on my TBR for the longest time because I always hear people talking about how it's so good. So I was like, I'm finally gonna read it. Oh my god, that broke my heart. The ending to that is not something that I'll ever recover from. That's one of the ones that like this was actually inspired by, I think, the first episode, or like a scene from The Handmaid's Tale, and that's what got me to read Manacled, because I was obsessed with The Handmaid's Tale, and then I found out that this was Harry Potter and The Handmaid's Tale, and I was like, I'm sold, get me involved right now. So yeah, Hermione, our main character, has survived the war, but she has been like locked away in prison for a long time, isolated, almost gone mad, but for some reason she has managed to keep herself sane. And she has, in that process, buried away a lot of her memories. So you go in not really knowing a lot of things that happened during the war. There's a lot of question marks over things and what happened. So you're slowly going through the story knowing that you don't know the real story, but you get to a certain part, and then a huge chunk of the book is done in flashbacks. Now, first reading the flashbacks, I was like, oh, I need to go back to the main story, like what's happening. But the flashbacks are where it's at. The way I got hooked into that story. And it's so heartbreaking reading everything and knowing now, like, the more you learn, the more you're like, what? You've been kind of led to believe a whole different narrative, and now you're like completely spin on your head. So yeah, I finished the flashbacks and then I went and reread the first part, and it's like looking at it a whole different angle. It is absolutely insane. So I would recommend, this is an absolute journey. Get the tissues out and read your trigger warnings is what I would say. But after reading Manacled, I was like, okay, I need to continue down this avenue. So I read another Draco and Hermione fanfic called The Auction. And this is basically where, again, Voldemort has won the war, and all of the men and women from Harry's side are being auctioned off to the Death Eaters as like slaves. So this is another very gloomy and depressing story, but actually it to me was almost kind of healing in a way from the very dreary and lonesome route that Manacled takes, where it's very much just Hermione on her own trying to figure this out. There is a lot of other characters in The Auction which I preferred. It felt more fulfilling, and despite everything going on, there's actually, like, you kind of see the good in people. And yeah, I don't want to say too much about it, but it definitely healed part of me, and I love that. That's all I'm gonna say. So I actually think that I might prefer The Auction. I don't know. I love Manacled, but I do think that The Auction was maybe a bit more of what I like. It's also set in, well, part of it is set in Edinburgh Castle, and I live in Scotland, so I was like, oh my god, this is my home turf. So it's kind of funny that I could like picture what they were talking about. So I think, I don't know, because it's so tough. Like, I think Manacled was truly amazing, but I think story-wise I might prefer The Auction. I don't know. It's a tough one. They're definitely very close together, but so lastly, I want to touch on something that I have got into this year, which is dramatized audiobooks. Now, this has opened up a whole new world of reading for me. I started reading or listening to audiobooks this year, and I've really enjoyed them. But there's something about a dramatized audio where you can hear everything like a movie. There's music to accompany certain scenes. There's a huge varied cast. Everyone's different, voiced by different actors. It's just so vibrant in your ears. It's a 10 out of 10 experience if you've never listened to was so